Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Unparalleled Universe for another action figure review. And today we're taking a look at the newest wave of the Naughty and Nice collection by Fresh Monkey Fiction. Very excited to take a look at these guys. I think that Fresh Monkey Fiction has been killing it with everything. They kind of got things kicked off in the 1/12 scale world with their Santa Claus figures. And these things are awesome. I have a couple from the previous waves and I enjoy them quite a bit. Huge thank you to Big Bad Toy Store for sending these out to me to review. I do appreciate it. A lot of these figures do share the same parts, so I figured, we'll just do one big video for all of these guys. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. This wave consists of a bunch of different versions of Santa, which includes a re-release of the classic Santa, which is cool because the original has kind of shot up in price, so now you have another chance to get it. And then we also get Sergeant Santa in green camo. We have Father Christmas, as well as Storytime Santa. And then we also get Wizard Santa, and we even get a villain. Is Krampus considered a villain? I don't know. But yeah, we also get Krampus. And then we have the Winter is Here Santa. And then we also get this weird little winter goblin. Just kidding, it's Francis the Frost Elf. And Francis here is the only one that has different packaging. All the Santa figures come in the exact same packaging, same artwork, same everything. Only thing that's different is the name on the front. But yeah, Francis has his own unique packaging. And I believe this wave also has some reindeer. I don't have any of those yet, but I do plan on getting them. But let's take a very quick look at the packaging. The packaging on all these figures is pretty much the same except for the elf over here. But as far as the Santa Clauses go, the packaging does look cool. You can see the figure right through the window along with some of the accessories. On the front it says Naughty or Nice Collection. On the side we get a look at some of the other Santas in this wave. And then on the back we get another look at all the different Santa figures. And the only one they did not send was the Zombie Pirate Santa. Yeah, the packaging is nice. Definitely reminds me of like Marvel Legends packaging, which is pretty cool. But enough about the pretty boxes. Let's go ahead and get these guys out and take a look. Okay, so starting off with the classic Santa. As you could see, this is a really perfect looking Santa action figure. Like just the way that most people think of Santa, this figure represents that perfectly. They did a great job all the way around. It's really well sculpted. The paintwork is nice. It just does everything that it needs to do for a Santa action figure. The articulation, it's a little limited, but you could still get him into some cool poses. We'll talk about articulation later, but yeah, man, I think this is a great looking figure. And at first, I thought that this was basically just a re-release of the previous classic Santa, but it turns out that's not quite the case. There are some differences. As you could see on the original release, his beard is kind of like a light brown, almost like yellowish, and then on the new one, we have like a gray-white kind of beard. Aside from that, there are no differences. I did notice a little bit of paint details that weren't quite identical, like on the belt. You can see that there's a little bit more shading on the belt on the original. But, for the most part, everything is pretty much exactly the same. And I love that they did this because if you're somebody that wants to buy every single one of these figures and, you're a completist, you pick up this new Santa and it does offer something different from the previous one. But if you're somebody that missed the original classic Santa, you have your opportunity to get it right here and it does the same job as that previous version. So yeah, both of these are really nice. Just like a perfect looking Santa figure. And the accessories that he comes with are the same as the ones that we saw with that previous Santa. It includes two different head sculpts. This is the first one. I think it looks really nice. He's got the rosy cheeks, the nice looking mustache and beard. The eyes look a little weird on this one because for some reason they're pointing up. But, for the most part, I think this is a great looking head sculpt. But I love the alternate head sculpt. As you can see here, we have Santa winking. And this looks really good, man. He's kind of smiling a little bit and, his cheeks are rosy once again, and then he's got the great looking beard. So that head sculpt is really nice. And then he does come with a couple of different sets of hands. First off, we have a pair of gripping hands, and then we have a set of open hands, and then he does have a pointer finger for his right side. And then he also comes with a plate of milk and cookies. We get 2 cookies, a cup of milk, and then the plate. And then he does come with 1 gift, and that looks really nice, just like a classic typical gift. And then he does come with Santa's Naughty or Nice list. So yeah, all the accessories that you would need for a basic, good-looking Santa. This gives you a lot of good stuff. And yeah, man, I think this is a great-looking figure. I really love that his hat is removable too. So you could take his hat off and maybe use this on another figure or something. But yeah, there are a lot of options with this guy. But they definitely killed it and gave us a really great-looking classic Santa. And then next up, we have Storytime Santa. And yeah, man, this is looking really good. I was looking forward to this one because I recently got a diorama that I think that is going to be perfect for him. So I can't wait to take some shots of that. But yeah, he looks good. He's the same basic setup as the classic Santa. You know, like all the articulation is the same and everything. It does reuse some parts, but there is some different things going on here. Like the upper arms are, or actually the entire arm is different. The torso is different, and obviously the head sculpt. But yeah, this is cool. I like this quite a bit. One thing that kind of concerns me is that I do think that there's going to be a little paint rub in here. Like the red is going to, you know, leave some marks on the white. I'm already seeing a little bit of that already, so that does kind of suck. But aside from that, I think this is a really cool version of Santa. And he comes with a bunch of accessories. I was really happy to see that he comes with a bunch of different things, but he does have some things that are the same as the previous Santa. Like he does come with a present that it's the same sculpt, just a different color. And then he comes with a naughty or nice list. Once again, it looks like it's the exact same list. He does come with this Santa hat. I was happy to see that this hat does fit on the different head. And then he also comes with some cookies, but this is pretty cool because the cookies that he comes with are different than the classic Santa. Classic Santa came with some chocolate chip cookies, and I think he just came with some sugar cookies. So it's cool to get some different cookies. That's awesome. And then he does come with an extra set of hands. He comes with less hands than the classic Santa. For him, we get a set of gripping hands, and then for the second set, we have an open hand on the left side, and then like a gun gripping hand on the right side. Damn! And then he also comes with the naughty or nice stand. All of these guys get this stand, so if I forget to mention it on one or two of these Santa figures, they all come with it. And then he also comes with a stocking. This is really nice. And then of course he comes with the book. And the book is dope and everything, but you know, looking at the image on the inside, it doesn't look like it's a Christmas story. What the hell? There's bunnies and stuff like that. Nobody wants to hear Easter story from Santa. Tell us about Christmas. And then he also comes with a mug for some like hot cocoa or something. And then he does come with the pipe, and the pipe looks really good. It's got some great detail. It's mostly black, and then right here where, you know, what the hell is he smoking? It looks green in there. Damn, Santa. But yeah, this is nice. And you could actually put the pipe right up to his mouth and kind of wedge it between his mustache and his beard, and it stays in place. So yeah, that's nice. Yeah, he comes with a bunch of great accessories. It's cool to see that he came with some different things, but it's still things that work for any version of Santa. Unfortunately, he doesn't come with all the hands that we saw with the other classic Santa, and you know, you can't really use the hands from the other Santas on him, maybe on one of the other versions, but as far as the classic versions go, the skin tone is a little different, as you could see, so that won't quite work. So that's unfortunate, but aside from that, I think this is a really cool version of Santa. And the head sculpt is really nice on this guy too. It is different from the classic Santa, but it looks good. The hair especially looks nice. I do wish they put a little bit more work into the skin tone. The classic Santas had like some rosiness to the cheeks and, you know, some depth to the paint. On this one here, it's just a little plain, but it does look good. And then he has these glasses that you could actually remove. I mean, you could keep them secure in place, which is nice. They're not going to fall off or anything, but if you want to, you can just like pull them right out. And he looks good without them, so that's pretty nice. But yeah, this is a great looking head sculpt, and overall, I think this is a really cool version of Santa. I like this one. And then next up, we have Krampus. And man, I like this figure way more than I was expecting to. He came out really dope. The red on him pops like crazy. It's very vibrant and looks really good, especially with the green down here to contrast against the red. It looks awesome. And the head sculpt is amazing on this guy. It's got like a super evil look. It's really well sculpted. There's some nice paint washes in there and some highlights and all kinds of good stuff. The tongue and teeth look crazy, and I love the insane yellow eyes and the horns. That's a crazy looking head sculpt. And yeah, just in general, man, this is a really fun figure. And he does have some additional articulation compared to the other ones. Like he has upper bicep swivel, and he also has a hinge at the neck, which I was not expecting. So that's really cool. And from what I could tell, this body looks very similar to the body on the Barbarian Santa. I have him, but I've never opened him, so I don't know if the body is exactly the same, but it looks like it. To me, this is completely new because I don't have any of the other Krampus figures, so that neck hinge kind of caught me by surprise, but yeah, this looks nice. And then he does have an articulating tail back here. He's got his, I don't even know what you'd want to call this, like a skirt, I guess? I don't know. But man, this looks great. And then for accessories, he comes with some great stuff. He only has one additional hand, so he does come with a gripping hand for the right side. And he comes with one weapon, and this is like a crazy looking spear scepter thing. It looks really good, really well painted with some washes and stuff. That looks nice. And then he comes with some milk and cookies too, but the cookies are red chocolate chip, and the milk is like a let's just call it chocolate milk, I guess. I don't know. So I would assume it's something more evil than chocolate milk, but it's some kind of dark substance. And then he comes with some coals. Nice. I really love the coals. And he also comes with a gift like the other guys, or like the other Santa figures, but his gift is all smashed, and that is amazing. I love that. So yeah, the accessories are great, and then he does have a chain, and the chain is really nice too. I think it's metal. It feels very light, but yeah, this is awesome, man. Just in general, this is a great figure. And I wasn't expecting to like him as much as I do. He's just a lot of fun to pose around, and he's a creepy, like everything else feels so wholesome, you know? But then you get to Krampus, and he's just like a creepy ass, nasty looking, almost like a demon or a monster or something. Unfortunately, he only comes with one head sculpt, but thankfully they did a really great job on it. And one issue I'm having with this figure is that I feel like if I lift his leg too much, that this area might split. I could see a little bit of stress going on in there, so we do have to be careful with that. But aside from that one issue, I think they did a really great job on this guy. It's a really fun figure. Oh man, this one is hilarious. Here we have Sergeant Santa. And yeah, man, this thing cracks me up. When I was taking it out of the packaging, I just kept laughing at all the little things that he has going on. He's really cool. And this body is exactly the same as the classic Santa body. Like, there's no difference aside from the head sculpts, obviously, but the bodies themselves are identical to each other. So yeah, there you go. But I don't know, man. Sergeant Santa just, he cracks me up for some reason. It's just so dumb, you know? But they did a great job with it. The camouflage on the suit looks nice. Everything is really well painted. And yeah, it's just a really cool looking figure. He does have a bunch of cool accessories, including 2 different head sculpts. The first head sculpt is the one that's on the body when you take him out of the box, and this head sculpt features Santa wearing some glasses. The glasses are not removable, they're stuck on there, but man, this is so funny. Like, he's got the glasses and then a big old cigar with the tip of it lit up. And yeah, it's hilarious, man. Santa smoking a big old cigar in an army suit just cracks me up. So this head sculpt is nice. And then he does come with one alternate head sculpt. And this one here is kind of an angry Santa. And as you can see, he does have the camouflage paint style going on. This head sculpt is the same head sculpt that we saw with the Barbarian Santa, but it's really hard to identify it because of the paint job. So that's cool. And then as far as additional accessories go, he does come with a bunch of different hands. So he gets a pair of gloved gripping hands, and then he gets a pair of bare gripping hands. And then we have a set of hands where on the left side we have a fist, and the right side we have a pointer finger. And then he has one open hand for the left side, and then a trigger finger hand on the right side. That one's bare, but then he also comes with a gloved trigger finger hand for the right side. So yeah, the combination of hands is kind of weird. Like, he only comes with 2 gripping hands of the gloved and the bare, and then everything else is kind of random, like one fist, one pointer finger, whatever. But he does come with a good amount of hands, and then he does come with the gift, just like all the other Santas. And this one matches him with the camouflage paint job. And then he does come with a stocking that has that same camouflage design going, as well as some ornaments. And I guess these ornaments can also double as grenades, maybe? I don't know. But yeah, those have the camo paint job as well. But I love that all the accessories have that match him, you know? That's funny. And then he comes with a shotgun. And we saw the same shotgun with the Cyborg Santa, and probably some other versions. Not a whole lot going on with it. It looks cool and everything, but it's pretty basic. But it's a good looking shotgun. And then finally, he has a missile launcher. And this is pretty damn cool. As you could see, the missile itself has a candy cane kind of theme going. And the rest of it is just green to match him. And I think the weapons are cool, but I feel like they're a little small. I mean, the missile launcher's probably okay, but the shotgun seems a little small. But still, these are very cool. I like that he came with some weapons. And yeah, I think this is a really great, fun, kind of out-of-the-box version of Santa. I forgot to mention it before, but this hat is also removable, and he comes with an army helmet. Jeez, so stupid. I love it. Yeah, so this one, I don't know, this one has made me laugh the most. So, and then next in the lineup, we have Father Christmas. And again, another really good looking figure. He's mostly the classic Santa, but repainted green. The only real big difference, aside from the head sculpts, is the lower part of the jacket underneath the belt. His is different. His kind of matches what we have going on with Krampus. So it makes more sense here because it looks like part of the jacket. With Krampus, I don't know what the hell is going on. It's like a skirt or something. But it still works because he's crazy. But anyways, this looks really good. I love the green on him. There's a little bit of variation to the color in there. You could see that they did some really nice shading. I really like the little dark areas. That looks cool. And then the brown of the, fuzzy parts of the jacket, that all looks really nice. And his head sculpt is a little different too. His head sculpt kind of looks more like almost like a Viking kind of Santa, if that makes sense. Like a more serious Santa. Like the classic Santa is kind of like a more modern, I was going to say a modern fictional version of Santa, but like a more cheery modern version of Santa. This looks like a more serious, straight down to business kind of Santa. So that's really cool. And yeah, like I said, he looks really good. And as far as accessories go for him, just like some of the other Santas, he comes with a gift and a naughty and nice list. And he does come with two different heads. The first one is the one that we've already talked about. Like I said, he looks very serious. It's a good looking head sculpt, but I do think that they could have done a little better with the skin tone. Again, it just needs a little bit more life. The beard and the eyes look good, but I wish the skin tone had a little more going on. The alternate head looks really good too. It's the same head sculpt that we saw with the Storytime Santa, but this time around he has like darker hair. So it's kind of like a younger Santa, but he has the removable glasses and stuff, and it looks good, man. Again, same kind of problem with the skin tone. I wish there was a little more going on, but for the most part, I think it's a great looking head sculpt. The beard and the glasses look really nice. And then he does come with a rocking horse, like a little rocking horse that he could leave as a gift somewhere. That's cool. We haven't seen that accessory yet, or I haven't. And then he does come with two sets of hands. The first set of hands are the standard gripping hands that are on the body when you take them out. And the second set of hands are another pair of gripping hands, but these hands have like mittens on that match the rest of his outfit, so that's really nice. I like that. And he does have this really cool like staff, and the staff actually has like an interchangeable piece here. You could switch out the end if you'd like. So that's cool to have like different options, and that looks really good. I prefer the swirly piece of wood. And yeah, this is a great looking staff. One thing that kind of sucks though, as you could see right here, I have a little bit of paint rub going on from, taking it in and out of the hand here. So we won't have that problem with the hands that have the mittens on them. But yeah, you want to be aware that some of the white paint could scrape onto that weapon. But yeah, I think this is a great looking Santa. He comes with some cool accessories, some things that are a little bit different from what we've seen from the other Santa Claus figures. And I think it's a great representation of Father Christmas. Oh, and a few things I almost forgot. He also comes with this wreath, or however you say it, crown thing, and this is nice. I like this a lot. I think it makes the head sculpt look better than it already is. It's already cool, but throwing that on there looks really dope. And it could fit on either head, so that's nice. And then he also comes with a hood, and the hood is kind of hard to get on there, but you can make it happen. What you have to do is put the head into the hood first, and it's still going to be flopping around in there just a little bit. But thankfully the hood is soft enough to where you could just push it down, even with the head in there. Yeah, so there we go. I really like the way the hood looks. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the hood, the younger Santa. Actually, I think I'm gonna go with the younger Santa head, the mittens, and the wreath crown thing. I always say wreath. I know it's wreath, but anyways. Yeah, that's really nice. But yeah, this is a cool one, man. And it looks different than the other ones, even though he does have like similar body parts and everything. He still stands out because of the color. And it's just cool to have a Father Christmas. I don't have a Father Christmas figure. And then next up, we have the Winter is Here Santa. And I love the way this looks. The white with the silver, and then the gray fur, the hood. All of this just looks so cool to me. The body is exactly the same as Father Christmas, you know, mostly made up of the classic Santa except for the piece down here. But yeah, no surprises as far as the sculpt goes, but I just think the all white with the gray and silverish trim looks amazing. It's really dope. Yeah, man, I love the way this guy looks. And his head sculpt is pretty much the same as the classic Santa. It's just, you know, the beard is slightly different as far as the color goes, but the sculpt is the same. And then for accessories, once again, he gets a gift. And then he comes with all kinds of crazy stuff, including a silver and white candy cane. And then he has a stocking, and this is a clear stocking. That's kind of crazy, like a frozen ice stocking. And then he comes with a couple of pieces of ice. It's just basically repainted coal from Krampus. And then he does have this staff, and the staff is very cool too. The actual handle part is the same as the staff from Father Christmas, but this comes with a couple of different attachments. First off, we get this right here that looks like some type of crystal or some type of magical effect. And, you know, you could take that right off. And then we get this other one. And this other one is also some type of like magical kind of thing. The dopest accessories that he comes with are the zombie parts. So he comes with like a weird looking frozen zombie Santa head, and man, I love this. I would love to see Fresh Monkey Fiction make a whole line of zombies, because this is awesome. And then it also comes with a set of hands that match the zombie head sculpt. And those are the only extra hands that come with this Santa Claus. So we get one set of hands for the zombie Santa, and then another set of hands for the Winter is Here Santa. So just 2 sets of hands with this guy. Lastly, he comes with this ice crown thing, and I think this is intended for the zombie. I don't know if it's supposed to be a zombie. Someone has to let me know. Maybe it's some kind of weird ice creature or ice demon or some kind of, you know, some type of, maybe like some type of illusion that Santa creates. I don't know why. I just figure like Santa has magical powers. Maybe he turns into a crazy zombie demon monster to scare somebody off or something. I don't know. But yeah, man, I think this is a great version of Santa Claus. I really like the all white. It's very striking, and it's going to really stand out when you have all these guys on the shelf. This one is definitely going to catch your attention and, you know, draw your eye towards it. So it's really dope, man. They've killed it so far on all of these. And then for the final Santa Claus, we have Wizard Santa. And this just might be my favorite of the bunch. It's a toss-up between him and the Winter is Here Santa. All of them are great, but those two just stood out to me. I like them quite a bit. But yeah, man, this Wizard Santa is great. In my mind, Santa is kind of a wizard anyways, so I just love that they leaned into that. And you know, one thing that's very cool about this figure that I didn't even notice at first was the fact that he's translucent. Like the arms, the upper torso, I mean the entire torso, and the lower part of the jacket are all made of this dark blue translucent plastic. So if you could get some light behind it, I'm sure you could take some really dope pictures. And yeah, he just looks cool, man. Look at him. Everything is well painted, except I do have a little bit of paint slop back here, so I got to see if I could clean that up. But aside from that, everything looks clean and really well done. His head sculpt is the same as the one that we saw on Father Christmas. It's like that more serious looking Santa. And it looks even better when you put on the wizard hat. Look at that, boom. The wizard hat looks so cool. And it fits on his head, but it's a little loose, so I mean, it's not going to fall off on you, but if you want it to really be secure, you probably have to use some blue tack or something. And one thing I just noticed on this head sculpt is that the eyes are painted a little brighter on this head than they are on the Father Christmas version of this head sculpt. Check it out. So here's the Father Christmas version, and the eyes are blue, but they're kind of a dark blue. Right here, they kind of look like they're glowing or something. And man, I think that's perfect for Wizard Santa. And I love the way that they make little differences on the same head sculpts, you know? And even the beard is like a different color, so that's really dope to see. But yeah, look at that, man. That's such a cool design. And as far as accessories go, he does come with a bunch of cool stuff. Just like the rest, he does come with a gift, and the gift matches his outfit. So that's fun. And then he does come with, you know, the naughty and nice list. And then the staff that he comes with is the same as the staffs that we saw on the Father Christmas and the Winter is Here Santa. The pieces on the end are even exactly the same as the Winter is Here Santa. They're just different colors. As you can see, this time around we have like a blue crystal. And then he does have this piece, which, you know, is the same, just different color than the one that we saw on that Santa back there. But yeah, you could just switch these out, give it a different look. I think it works better for him than it did on the Winter is Here Santa. And then what else does he have? Oh, he comes with a spell book, and the spell book looks really cool. On the inside, you have like some potions and a wizard doing his thing, a skull, and all kinds of crazy stuff. So I love that we get multiple different types of books with all these different Santas. And as far as like extra hands go, he only comes with 2 sets. He comes with a pair of gripping hands that have the gloves on, and then a pair of bare gripping hands. And then I believe that's it for the accessories, so not a whole lot there. So I do like the accessories that he comes with, but I do wish that he came with some like spell casting hands or something, you know? Just having gripping hands for a wizard Santa is a little boring, so I think spell casting hands could have been really cool, and it would have made him, you know, even more unique. So that would have been nice. But aside from that, I love all the other accessories, especially the spell book. But yeah, I think this is a great looking Santa. I love the design, and I really love the concept of a wizard Santa. And then for the actual final figure in the wave, we have Francis the Frost Elf. And I think this looks really good. I think he's going to be awesome next to the Winter is Here Santa, especially when you put on the zombie pieces or whatever. That's going to go really good with this. And I think this looks great and everything, but I've kind of stayed away from the elves in this line because they don't have much articulation. It's kind of like a 5 points of articulation kind of scenario. And I mean, I guess that's okay for the elves, but I would have preferred if they kind of put some more effort into the articulation. I mean, they could do it. They make 3 3/4 inch figures. They've been doing that for years. So I think they could have put a little bit more articulation into these guys. But you know, as an accessory piece, I think it's pretty cool. Like, if these came with one of the Santas, I wouldn't be mad at it, but, you know, I wouldn't go buy this separately by itself. But with that said, I think it does look really cool next to the Winter is Here Santa. And he does come with some accessories, so that's nice. He comes with a crushed present, just like Krampus. And then he comes with a candy cane. And then he does have 2 head sculpts. This is the first one here with the zombie kind of look. That's pretty creepy and awesome. And then the alternate head sculpt is more of like a traditional elf, I guess you could say. I don't know. He still looks evil right there, huh? Yeah. So it's cool that he comes with accessories. I'll give them that for sure. So yeah, I mean, this is pretty cool actually. I guess it just depends on the price, but you know, as far as like the figure itself and the accessories, all that stuff is cool. But I do wish they had some articulation. And then for size comparisons, obviously all the Santa bodies are very similar to each other, so they're going to be very close in height. There are slight differences, like Krampus is just a little bit taller because of the way you could adjust the head. And then, you know, I would say that like a head that has hair on it may appear a little taller than one of the bald Santa heads. So really that's the only difference in any type of height. For the most part, everything is pretty much the same size. So we're going to run through a bunch of different size comparisons. I'll try to get through these very quickly, but here's a quick look at 3 of these Santas together. Unfortunately, I don't have a bunch of holiday themed figures, so these size comparisons are going to be pretty random. But here we have some Santa Clauses and Krampus alongside the 4 Horsemen figure obscura Father Christmas and the Damn Toys Homeless Joe. And I bet a bunch of you nerds asked for figures of these guys back in the day, so here we have the Santa Clauses alongside the Masterverse 40th Anniversary He-Man and the Mezco 112 Collective Ninja Turtles Raphael. And then next up, we have the Santas alongside the Mythic Legion Skeleton Legion Builder 2 by the 4 Horsemen. And then on the opposite side, we have the Marvel Legends Doctor Strange. I think that Doctor Strange and the Wizard Santa could probably make for some cool setups and pictures. And then here we have them alongside the Marvel Legends Secret Wars Spider-Man and Captain America. And then next up, we have them alongside the Fresh Monkey Fiction Operation Monster Force Van Helsing and one of the Sleepwalkers. And yeah, Fresh Monkey Fiction is doing an incredible job in 1/12 scale. I think both of these lines are really great, very unique. They offer characters that like we haven't really seen elsewhere, or like different versions of characters we've seen in other places. So I think it's really cool what they have going on, and I can't wait to see what else they do. And then here we have the Santas, including Sergeant Santa, alongside the Mezco 112 Collective, G.I. Joe Roadblock, and the Valaverse Action Force Trigger. So if you want to throw your Sergeant Santa in with your other military lines, I think that'll be pretty fun, you know. He looks great next to them. I think he scales well, and it'll just be crazy to have like a little unit of army military characters and, you know, have Santa in there. I think that's pretty crazy. And then here we have them alongside the Patriot Studios Zombie Cop. And then on the opposite side, we have the Marvel Legends Zombie Captain America. And I think the Winter is Here Zombie Santa Claus looks really dope next to the Zombie Captain America. So if you need another zombie for your zombie horde, you could throw your Santa Claus in there. Then I completely forgot to throw in Francis the Frost Elf, so here's a look at him next to Santa Claus. But then we also have some more Monster Force figures. We have one of the Delta Troopers and the Forgotten King. And then of course here we have them alongside the Marvel Legends Bucky Cap and Marvel Legends Renew Your Vows Spider-Man. And then for the final and most important size comparison, here we have Santa's alongside the NECA Mirage Comics Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Kirby, aka Jack Kirby. And as you can see, Jack Kirby is showing the Wizard Santa how to perform real magic. And then on the opposite side, we have my original character, Odious from Unparalleled Universe. And he's just trying to keep classic Santa safe from this zombie Santa, making sure he doesn't get too close, holding it down, you know. So I think Santa is a perfect size to fit in with all types of other 1/12 scale lines. He looked good next to everybody size-wise, in my opinion. So I think there's a lot of good stuff you could do with this figure, and you could definitely have fun mixing him in with your other 6-inch scale lines. And the articulation on these guys is pretty much the same on all of them, with the exception of Krampus. He did have a couple of additional points of articulation, which was nice to see because I wasn't expecting that. But yeah, as far as the Santa Clauses go, everything is pretty much the same. It just kind of depends on how you have them set up or which one you're dealing with. You know, like if you have a Santa that has like a longer beard, you may get a little less movement in that area. Or if you're dealing with one of the Santas that have like the longer jackets, obviously this is going to be a little bit more limited than this. And, you know, even this is going to be more limited than that. So it just kind of depends what you're dealing with. But if you have one of these figures, then you know exactly what you're getting out of the articulation on them. And I would say that the articulation is very similar to something like Mythic Legions. And I think that's okay. That works really well for Santa Claus. So I'm pretty happy with it. But let's go ahead and see what we have going on here, starting off at the head. So the head is on a ball joint, nothing really special. I do wish that there was a hinge in here, like on Krampus. I think that would have been perfect. And it would have been well hidden under the beard and everything. But as it is right now, it's just the ball joint. So his head is able to move side to side. And we get a little bit of tilting action. You could hear that it's squeaking because all the joints are pretty tight. But you get some tilting action there. And then he could only look up to about right there. And then he could only look down to right there. So pretty limited movement at the head. And then for the torso is one big piece with the ball joint at the waist. And, you know, I'm okay with that. I think it works for Santa Claus. And, you know, I don't think it would have been a good decision to try to, like, force more articulation into here. Like, it would have looked ugly to have a big cut in the middle of the torso just to get a little bit more articulation. So I'm happy they kept it simple and just went this route. But yeah, as you could see, he could crunch forward to about right there, which, you know, isn't horrible. You can hear everything squeaking. It's hella loud. But yes, that's not horrible. And then it goes back to about right there, which is pretty good. It could get a little gappy, so, you know, be mindful of that while you're taking your pictures and stuff. And we get some nice, like, side to side. So, yeah, we get some, like, dynamic movement out of this. I'm okay with this, to be honest with you. And then for the arms, they're able to go all the way around. And then they could come up to the side to about right there. So, yeah, that's not bad. Can't really get in front too much. I wish that there was a little bit more movement in the arm area and in the shoulder so that, like, you could get Santa to, like, hold on to his pipe or his, you know, his cup of milk or whatever and make it look like he's holding it up to his mouth. It's a little tough to do that now. That's about as close as you could get his hand to his face. So I do wish there was more going on in the arms. And then he does have single joints at the elbow that bend only to about right there. So just under 90 maybe. And then we have a swivel. And then for the hands, we have a swivel and a hinge. And some of the gripping hands do have the vertical hinge. I think only maybe just the gun gripping hands that come with Sergeant Santa. But aside from that, all the hands just have the hinge. The standard in and out hinge. And then for the legs, he's able to kick his leg forward to about right there, which is pretty good. As you can see, this short jacket doesn't really get in the way too much. Let's get this Santa and see how they compare. So yeah, it looks like it pretty much gets the same with the short jacket. So that's cool. As you can see on the short jacket, there's a little bit of a split on the side. Oh, now I gotta fix Storytime Santa. He's reading Christmas Carol. But yeah, on Santa that has the jacket, you could see that there's a little bit of a split, and that allows for some more movement, so that's cool. Then it goes only back to right there. Comes out to the side a really good amount. Bam. Take that, Krampus. So that's pretty good. Damn, he can do the splits. So that's nice. And then, you know, like I said, if you're dealing with one of the Santas that have a longer jacket, then things are going to be a little bit more limited. But, you know, you could still move it a pretty decent amount. My only concern here is if you're trying to move this forward too much, like you may risk damaging this area here. I feel like, I mean, his looks okay, but I think it was on Krampus where it started to feel like I saw a little bit of stress in there. And it kind of made me nervous. But as you could see, even with the longer jacket, it gets decent movement. And even side out to the side is pretty good because it has that cut. So yeah, pretty good stuff there. Even yeah, all the different style of jackets still give you pretty good movement. Back to classic Santa though. He does have upper thigh swivel. He has a single joint at the knee that bends only to right there. And we have a swivel. And then at the foot, it could go forward to right there, come up to right there, rock side to side. No boot swivel because we already have the swivel there at the knee. So yeah, there you go. Like I said, not a crazy amount of articulation, but in my opinion, it's enough for Santa Claus. I mean, it would be cool to get like a super articulated, crazy Santa Claus, but as far as like for like classic versions or like these kind of different like styles that we have going on here, I'm okay with this level of articulation. You could definitely, I mean, I'm having fun with them. It's not like I'm having the same kind of fun I would have with like Spider-Man or Black Panther or somebody like that. But, you know, as far as getting like these figures into simple, cool poses, I've been having a good time with it. You know, you could have Santa Claus running. You could have this zombie one kind of creeping around doing its thing. Yeah, articulation isn't amazing at all, but I think there's enough there. And let me go ahead and show you the differences with Krampus. Because as I said, Krampus has a couple of additional points of articulation. And the main point of articulation that I think gives us the most is the hinge here at the neck. So he does have a ball hinge, which is really nice. See, you get some extra movement, even with the beard and stuff. It would have been cool if they included this on all the Santa Claus figures. And then he also has upper bicep swivel. Again, it would be nice to see that on all the Santa Claus figures. But yeah, so there we go. A couple of extra things on Krampus. And like I said, I wasn't expecting that. I have the Barbarian Santa, which I think shares the same body as this, but I've never opened it. But I'm going to now. I have an excuse. So yeah, like I said, articulation is okay on these guys. It'd be cool to get a little bit more, but to be honest with you, for what these are, I'm happy with the articulation. Oh, and one thing I want to note is that the joints are really tight on all these figures right out of the box, so you definitely want to heat them up a little bit before you start posing them. I mean, even before doing the articulation right now, I did heat Santa Claus up, but just in the time that he sat here and cooled down, like things got tight again. So yeah, it's pretty tight in certain areas, so be very careful. Thankfully, nothing feels fragile. So when you're moving things around, nothing feels like it's gonna break, but you could definitely feel that things are very tight. So not a big deal, but just something that I wanted to make sure you guys were aware of. Alrighty, so overall, at the end of the day, when the smoke clears, the dust settles, and it's all said and done, I think this whole wave is awesome. I'm a big fan of the idea of a holiday themed line like this. It's so crazy and creative and different and out of the box, and I think that Fresh Monkey Fiction has been doing a great job with the Naughty or Nice line. I just love what we have going on here because it's crazy. It's all just Santa Claus. Like, there's not that many characters. All you have is Santa Claus and elves and then different versions of Santa Claus. And I think they do a really good job of giving us all these different versions and really building them out. You could tell that there's a lot of thought put into each one of these as far as the design and the accessories and just the overall presentation. There's a lot going on, and I think they do a great job with all of it. As far as the figures themselves go, I think they're a whole lot of fun. I do wish there was a little bit more articulation, especially on the standard Santa body. I wish the arms had a little bit more going on. I mean, I don't need a crazy amount of articulation on Santa Claus, but it would be cool if he can like hold a cookie to his mouth or hold the pipe to his mouth or something. So a little bit more range on the elbow would have been nice. But aside from that, I think these figures are a whole lot of fun to play with, and they're just fun in general. Like, they're really well sculpted. Like, the classic Santa is a perfect Santa to me, and I love the fact that you know, if you have a couple of these different Santa Claus figures that have different heads, you could kind of switch the heads and make things your own a little bit. That's a whole lot of fun. I like that there's a bunch of Santa Clauses, like a bunch of Santa Claus head sculpts, but they're all like different interpretations, you know? That's so cool, and it gives you a lot of options. And yeah, man, I just love the variety. And it's funny to say that because it's all one character. So this line is so much fun. As far as like this wave goes specifically, I think it's great, man. Like, I don't even know which figure is my favorite. It's somewhere between, I mean, Krampus was kind of a sleeper. Krampus and Sergeant Santa were kind of sleepers for me. I didn't think I would like them as much as I do. I knew I was gonna like Classic Santa. I had high hopes for the Storytelling Santa and Father Christmas. Both of those are great. But soon as I saw them in person, right away I was like, oh yeah, the winter is here Santa. That's the one I'm gonna love. But then I got to the Wizard Santa and it's like, oh, this is the one I like the best. So, you know, it was a lot of fun to look through these and think about how I felt about each one of them. But it turns out I like all of them. They're all amazing and they're all so much fun. And then as far as criticisms go, I do wish that the paint was a little cleaner. For the most part, everything looks really good, but a couple of my figures do have some paint slop in certain areas, so I'm gonna have to clean that up. So that's one thing that could be better. Also, I do wish that the hands were easier to swap out. The hands are super tight in there. You almost have to heat them up every time that you want to switch them out, so that's kind of a pain in the ass. And another thing, a word of warning, all the joints are pretty tight right out of the box, so you definitely want to warm these guys up before you just start posing them. I didn't have any risk of breaking anything, like everything was pretty safe, but lots of the joints were tight, so I did have to warm things up. But yeah, aside from that, I don't really have any big complaints. Oh, one thing I want to mention, I like that the line has a little bit of darkness to it, because I think like some of the best Christmas stories have some darkness in them. You know, like obviously the Christmas Carol, like that has ghosts and shit like that. So I love that there's a little bit of darkness in here with the zombies and monsters and Krampus and wizards and all that stuff, you know. It's so much fun. Huge shout out to Big Bad Toy Store and Fresh Monkey Fiction for sending these out to me to take a look at. I do appreciate it. I can't wait to get some more Naughty or Nice figures. I can't wait to see what they do with this line. But anyways, if you're interested in these figures, you could pre-order them at Big Bad Toy Store. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. Be sure to use those links. It does help out the channel. I do appreciate it. Oh, and you'll have to forgive me. I'm not going to do a bunch of pictures on this review because there's just so much here. But just keep an eye on my Instagram. I'll definitely be posting pictures of these guys throughout the month of December. And with that, I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Also, be sure to hit the bell notification so you know every time that I go live. Thank you very much. Peace.